Oh, definitely, and he learns. It's been a very expensive year for that young man. This truck's been upside down like 6 times, but that shows you're pushing it to the outer edge of the envelope. When you start flipping them like that, that's what it's going to take to win. Speaking of taking the win, Scott, look who's going now.
Here's a guy, as Army would say, taking the win like a duck takes the water. David Morrison, the equalizer, getting the victory and moving into the semifinal round.
Well, David Morris, you're still in this thing. You just ran the same lane that USA 1 went out of. You saw what happened to him. What goes through your mind sitting up there knowing you're going to take that same road in about 30 seconds?
Well, a lot goes through your mind when you see something like that, and then you climb back in the truck, and you know you're running in the same lane. You're just wondering, well, what do I need to do different that he didn't do?
In college basketball, they said North Carolina State out against North Carolina. Well, here we have it. A couple of North Carolina natives racing. Gary Wiggins in the Mopar Magic, Gary Porter in the Carolina Crusher. And Army, as we get ready for the race, Crusher feels a lot of pressure. With Equalizer already winning, Gary's got to win here, too.
Yeah, each round the Equalizer wins. In order just to stay even, the pressure goes on the Carolina Crusher. And Porter, he's got his hands full right now. Okay, he holds on. The pressure keeps coming after him. That pressure is going to get him before the year's over. There's a breaking point somewhere out there. I don't know where it's going to be, but every run, he's got to go harder and harder to stay after the Equalizer.
Good run for the Mopar Magic. He looks strong, but Gary Porter in the Carolina Crusher has been one of the true superstars in this sport. And Wiggins, staying with him, has to be pleased with the run, although you're never pleased with the loss. There you see the silver flag, last week's winner, and he's got a smile ear to ear about last week's run. The Buffalo Tremor and John Kwasniewski. But now he takes on the true favorite in this sport. Everywhere you go, they talk about the Gravedigger. They talk about the red lights, about Dennis Anderson. Yeah, he's a little cocky. Yeah, he's a little arrogant. Yeah, he goes all out all the time. And I think that's what a lot of people love about him. And that's why Johnny Cage wants to whip him right here.
You said Johnny Cage got a smile on his face. The Gravedigger's got a grin all over his face. Look at this. Anderson comes out, boom.
All out attack mode, but that's the only thing we've ever seen from him. As Dennis Anderson says, no 2 in a row, Buffalo Tremor. He'll go on the trailer, and we'll see the Gravedigger coming back against Carolina Crusher in our semifinal.
Sounds like we got a little bit of a problem with sputter sound comes out of the Gravedigger, Scott.
Let's hope that Dennis hasn't broken again, but as you mentioned, that engine did not sound good. Dennis is unbuckling. We're going to be coming back with the pull-off for our super stock tractors in Bowling Green, Ohio in just a moment. But first, one more time, this terrifying run for Rod. Anytime you follow the TNT All-American Pulling Series in Bowling Green, Ohio, you can expect to see that, a packed grandstand. And they love watching the super stock tractors. We're in the pull-off Army. Here's the rooster, Danny Dean.
Danny Dean, the man that set the pace in the first round. First one to make a full pull. Really leaning on the horsepower. Look at the International. Dean has everybody standing. If you like red, you like Dean, and you're in the lead.
Excellent, 285.10. That'll be something to shoot at. Danny Dean and the rooster.
Well, Danny, you've laid all your cards on the table. Do you think you're holding a win in hand?
I don't know. I wasn't just real happy with that run, but we'll just have to see. This track has a tendency to go away a little bit in the pull-off, so we'll just have to see. I didn't think that weight would make that much difference. I thought I ought to be able to truck her out again, but the track may be going away already.
We're going to find out. That looked awfully good, though. Brett Berg will now try to beat it in Never-A-Nuff.
You know, Scott, if you ever have an opportunity to go to one of these events, watch the driver. The driver is so much a part of these vehicles. You have a tendency to watch that big weight sled and watch the tractor, but believe me, that driver is working for a living up there between those huge tires.
Unfortunately, though, for Brett, well short at a little over 269 feet. Our next pull-off competitor, Ernie Connor of Bad Medicine. Army, Danny Dean, after making his pull, said he thought the track would go away.
Well, in this sport, the track will go away when it does not repack. Now, after every run, there are some grooves laid down in the track from the pulling vehicle and the weight transfer sled, maybe only an inch and a half deep. The track crew goes back and repacks those grooves. When the track goes away, it means they did not pack them back as tight as they originally were, Scott.
So coming up short, Ernie Connor, Bad Medicine, a little over 271 feet. That means there's one more, the big green tractor, the John Deere Super John. Ronnie Goodrich from Wakefield, Virginia, has to beat 285 feet, a little over that, to win it.
We got an international in the lead. That's a red tractor. A John Deere going after him. That's a green tractor. This is the kind of stuff that'll start a war in the truck and tractor pull game. Who's going to win it?
It's close. It's close, but I don't think he got there. Let's check the official distance for Super John, the John Deere, Ronnie Goodrich. It will be just a little bit short. The distance is coming up at 281 feet and 8.6 inches, a little over 3 feet short.
Well, Danny Dean seemed to have this track figured out today, Scott, in Bowling Green. He keeps talking about the history of the track. As this replay comes up on the screen, you notice the smoke is good and black, making the horsepower, the weight's just right, and the top 5 come up on the scoreboard.
The International, the Rooster, Danny Dean wins it. The John Deere, Super John, Ronnie Goodrich second. Then Bad Medicine, Never-A-Nuff, the other pull-off tractors, and Workhorse rounded out the top 5 at Bowling Green. Hey, coming back, we've got a new feature for you. The Crunch of the Week is coming up next.